What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is August. Richard Hughes promised us transfers in August, and it looks like Richard Hughes is about to deliver as we finally have our first concrete information around the Liverpool signing in this summer transfer window. Now, you might have seen in the last few days, Liverpool have been linked with a targeted number 6 player, but it hadn't been briefed yet to the press who that player was. It looks like that's happened courtesy of Paul Joyce. We finally have the name, and it is Martin Zubimendi of Real Sociedad. So I think, personally, I don't want to jump the gun on this one, but I think this one gets done. Everything looks solid. We're going to go through it all in a minute, but I think this will be the first of a number of signings. I'm feeling like 2 or 3 are going to come in this summer transfer window. I know we don't have long left, but as I said, Richard Hughes promised us August, and I think August, Richard Hughes is going to deliver. So, as I said, this is coming courtesy of Paul Joyce. Before we dive into what was said, make sure you give the video a like if you want to sign Martin Zubimendi, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already to stay up to date and keep right on top of this story. We will be reporting when it is confirmed, one way or another, so get your subscription if you're not subscribed already. Right, let's get into the story. Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Paul Joyce said Liverpool are considering Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi. Now that's it, that's the tweet. But here's the thing, Paul Joyce, 10 out of 10 journalist. This guy speaks, you listen. It's as simple as that in regards to Liverpool Football Club, and especially when it comes to transfers. Now, we know already that Liverpool have been targeting a number 6 in the market, so what this tweet really is letting us know who that number 6 is. So we can say with some confidence right now that it is Martin Zubimendi, and Liverpool want him. Pretty much similar things were also tweeted by Ian Doyle and also by David Ornstein, but I think the big one that everyone likes to wait on is Fabrizio Romano. He doesn't always have the information on Liverpool signings, by the way, so I'm just going to give you guys the heads up. Don't always wait for Fabrizio Romano on Liverpool stuff. Paul Joyce is the go-to guy, honestly. But Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, and he said Liverpool are exploring a move for Martin Zubimendi as a new midfielder, as there's a €60 million release clause into his contract. Talks will follow between clubs and on player side. So there's a €60 million release clause, which means it's a fairly simple deal to get done for Liverpool. Of course, we know what Michael Edwards is like. I don't think he's just going to pay the release clause outright like that. I think he will go in and try and negotiate with the club. But on the plus side is if they can't reach an agreement in negotiations, there is that release clause that Liverpool can just trigger. Now, the big thing for me is that Ian Doyle also said, should it be completed, the transfer of Zubimendi would likely trigger a number of moves in the market for Liverpool ahead of the deadline on August 30th. As I said, Richard Hughes said August, and it looks like August, we're going to get some movement finally. And judging on this, there's a series of dominoes Liverpool have lined up, and, you know, once we make the first move and so on and so forth, it might mean that players go out the door once some come in. We know Liverpool were open to potentially selling 𝘍𝙀𝙆𝙆. If we bring in a CDM, does that mean we will lose a CDM, and then, you know, any potential money from that deal could go into another player? Who knows? Let's wait and see what happens. My personal opinion is I don't want Endo to go, gotta be honest, even if we do get Zubimendi. But we'll get into all that. First of all, let's take a look at Zubimendi himself. First things first, he's valued at €50 million. His release clause is €60 million, which is why I don't think we'll just outright pay that. I think, knowing Michael Edwards, he will go in and try and negotiate and get that fee a little bit lower. But as I said at the start, you know, it's promising that the release clause is there. If talks aren't going as well as we might have hoped, we can just trigger that release clause and get the player. In terms of the player himself, he's a right-footed defensive mid. He's 25 years old, which is a great age. You know, it's not too young, it's not too old. It's perfect for a player to come in and jump straight into that starting 11. He's got plenty of experience in La Liga as well. He's 5'9", which, you know, is different to the player profile Liverpool have been targeting in recent transfers, but, you know, it's fine. As I said, he's been with Real Sociedad since he was a youth player. He came up through their academy and joined the senior team in 2020, so he's got plenty of experience. 144 games played in La Liga in the senior team, which includes 7 goals and 5 assists across that career time in the senior team. No red cards, which I think is important for a central defensive midfielder. You know, it means he's controlled with his tackles, he knows what he's doing. Interestingly enough, 4 of those 7 goals came last season. So he had a bit of a prolific season in terms of goal scoring last season. Played 31 games, scored 4 goals, all in La Liga, but he also played 8 games in the UCL. So he's got Champions League experience, which again is huge. This is a La Liga proven, Champions League proven central defensive midfielder that we're signing here. It is perfect for a player to come in and join the starting 11 with Liverpool, which we know is what Arne Slot wants. He hasn't been quiet about the fact he's not particularly happy with 𝘍𝙀𝙆𝙆𝙆. I don't think it's performance-based. I think it's age-based, honestly. and maybe there's a worry that he's going to drop off. You know, that is what happens typically to football players once they get into their early 30s. So like, it's understandable that Slot wants a replacement, and it's an area that we knew, you know, ever since Fabinho left, we've known that we needed to bolster that with only having 𝘍𝙍𝙀. And again, Endo was a bit of a last minute thing for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, so I totally get it. In terms of his injury record, which is huge for Liverpool, as we know, he missed 7 games due to injury last season, but in 22-23, he didn't miss a single game. He wasn't out once via injury, and he only missed 5 games in the previous season as well. So it looks like you can expect maybe somewhere between 5 and 10 games, let's say. But as I said, in 22-23 season, you didn't miss a single game, which is amazing. I would say it's a solid injury record right there, as long as we've still got someone to fill in that role, which we will have, by the way, because let's not forget, Alexis Mac Allister can do a fine job in that CDM position when he has to. If we keep Wataru Endo, we'll have him as well, and we've also got Stefan 𝘍𝙍𝙀. I think Wataru Endo, his future at Liverpool is still up in the air, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. The main thing is that this guy's injury record is great. If he does miss a handful of games, we definitely got the bodies to fill in there. So this seems like the perfect signing for Liverpool. Perfect age, bags of experience, starting 11 ready. It's exactly what Arne Slot will want. We were promised August. It looks like we're going to get August. I think this signing gets done personally, but it is too early to tell. Obviously, negotiations are still going on, but definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on this. As I said, we're going to be reporting as soon as we hear the news that Zubimendi will be a Liverpool player. And if you have enjoyed the content, make sure you give the video a like. As always, guys, thank you very, very much for watching the video, checking out the channel, and make sure you stick around if you want to stay on top of all that good Liverpool transfer news. I think it's going to be a busy month. Peace.